Hi everyone, this is Ray, or some of you might know me as Tiki With Ray, and today I'm at the Alibi in Portland, Oregon, 1947. This is an old school tiki bar, and I'm here with Brandon, all the way from Florida.
Sunny Orlando.
Man, you talk about a big difference. I mean, in Orlando it's like sunny, here it's just rainy, but actually today is pretty hot.
Today's hot, but it's not Florida hot.
Yes.
There's no humidity, so this is a very relaxing, enjoyable warm.
Yes. If you've been to Trader Sam's,
I have.
Oh, I know. I'm talking to the. I'm talking to the eye. Have you been to Trader Sam's?
I have a couple times, yeah.
If you have been to, if you've done the decor
For both.
for
yes.
both places, how did you get hooked up with the gig working for Disney?
The very cliche right place, right time.
Okay.
To be honest, knew some people, and one particular person needed someone to take over for him when he was working on a different project, and then that's how I just kind of got in the door. And I did that role for about 2 years, and then I ended up in the prop department. And then about 2 weeks after being in the prop department, they announced they were going to do a tiki bar called Trader Sam's.
Yeah, and up until that point, the only thing that was like tiki, I guess, would have been the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Tiki Room, yeah. So they announced that, and I printed it out from the Parks blog, and I ran it into my boss's office, and I said, I'm doing this. This is me. And I was expecting the "Who are you?" reply, because I'd literally been there maybe a week.
Yeah.
And it just kind of went from there. So yeah, I fought for it, and here we are.
So essentially, it's interior design.
Yeah. So my actual title is set decorator.
Yeah. Well, how did you get to that point? I mean, what did you do before that? Because obviously, it didn't show up at Disney. Like, I'll.
Yeah. No. It was. I was kind of at that time being a little utility player. So I was running around. If they needed helping with lighting, one week I'd go help them with lights. If they needed stage managing, if they needed printing, if whatever. And one of the last calls I got was, "Hey, can you do some prop stuff?"
Yeah.
And my boss at the time was on day one was, "Do you know how to use eBay?" Yeah. Do you know how to use Excel?
Okay. Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Do you know how to use Photoshop? Yeah, absolutely. And it just went from there. And luckily, with a film background and theater background and all of that, and collecting props and enjoying spending money, it worked out. And obviously with the Jungle Cruise background and my Adventureland background,
you used to work on the Jungle Cruise.
I did. I worked at Disneyland during the 50th anniversary.
I thought you were going to say you worked at Disneyland during the 50s.
During the 50s.
I'm like, dude, you're older than I thought.
Yeah, during the 50th anniversary. So I used to ride the golden Jungle Cruise boat when we had that.
So let me ask you a question. Obviously, you're into tiki.
Right.
Was your love for tiki spawned from Disney, or did it come from somewhere else?
I think a lot of our first impressions of tiki came from the Tiki Room. I mean, no matter what age you were.
Yeah.
Growing up in Florida, my dad's aunt worked at the Aku Tiki in Daytona.
No way.
So she ran the gift shop. And so I have that early childhood memory of sitting in the back seat and seeing the giant Maori, marquee when we'd go see her at the shop. So between that and the Tiki Room was all of my tiki background, and then working Adventureland and working the Tiki Room and working Jungle Cruise and all that it just became a vicious rabbit hole once we started doing Sam's.
You actually wrote a book.
I did. We did the Field Guide to Tiki Decorating, which was a lot of people were asking, can you write a book about Trader Sam's and all the props inside Sam's?
Yeah.
And I'd say, no, that's Disney's thing. That's illegal. So I thought, well, what can I write about? And I'm like, well, I can write about the thought of how you put it together and story and all that. So I grabbed Tiki Tony, and he did our illustrations, and then I grabbed Typhoon Tommy, who did our tutorials, simple at-home things. But yeah, it's been doing really well, and people enjoy it, and it's fun to watch people post what they've built on Instagram and send photos, and it's fun.
Is there any way someone can get the book?
You can get it at traderbrandon.com.
Traderbrandon.com.
That's simple.
So here's a question.
Or at TikiCon this weekend.
At TikiCon this weekend. So 3 years from now, when someone's
yeah, don't go to TikiCon.
Yes. Where's the book?
Just stay on the website. Yeah, they'll be wandering the halls of the Alibi. Look, there was a book here.
Okay, so here's a question I was wondering. So obviously, you are set with the task to build and design Trader Sam's, which is going to be essentially Disney's first tiki bar.
No pressure.
True tiki bar. No pressure.
Right.
What was Disney looking for, or were they like? Did they give you free carte blanche? Or was they say
carte blanche? Kyle Barnes was our interiors person and our kind of our guiding force in originally pitching that and getting it started. And he and I became great friends, and he really trusted me to do what was in here.
Yeah.
So sitting inside of Sam's is basically just sitting inside my brain, apparently, from the writing, from the spiels, the special effects, the water bottles, all the stuff on the wall. So yeah, without him allowing me to go crazy, I don't know where we would have ended up. But yeah, he was very instrumental in saying, "Go do your thing."
When you were designing them,
what
did you have in mind, or like what did you?
I knew with Anaheim it needed to reflect Adventureland.
Yeah.
And Anaheim and Orlando are completely different. They're completely different stories.
They're both completely different.
They're
the same drinks though, and the same
some difference
things
even.
happen.
But yeah,
kind of.
We knew we wanted to. I always said we should treat it like an Indiana Jones. You treat it where it's Trader Sam's and and you go to the next one. So we always wanted it to be two different adventures, and I think we always were shocked that Disney didn't just say, we built this one, cookie cutter it in Florida, but they trusted us to do two different ones, which was huge. So yeah, Anaheim, I knew we wanted to do Adventureland, 1930s, 40s, every photo's black and white, very heavy Jungle Cruise inspiration. And then when we got to Grotto, it was more Technicolor, 60s, 70s.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, like when I think of Trader Sam's Enchanted, the one in Anaheim, I think of like gold, red, brown,
and when I think very earth tone.
Yeah, when I think of Grog. Grotto. Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue when you have a couple of these in it.
Yeah, well,
but it's more. I remember a lot of blues, purples.
Yeah,
darker.
It's kind of like the Alibi color. I mean, it's very colorful. So yeah, there's hardly any black and white photos on the wall. They're all either color or poorly colorized, which was a funny gag to do on some.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you did such a great job, because the main thing that I love about tiki bars is I'm looking for the experience.
Right.
I want a full escape. I want a full environment. And I'll tell you what, you knocked it out of the park, because when you go in there, you are completely in that world.
Yeah, it's like Vegas. You forget what time it is. You forget where you are. You forget if it's raining outside. Yeah,
and there was this and I guess how it works for every time someone orders a drink, something happens, something said. So it's literally like, oh, that thing's talking. Oh, now that's going on.
Giant squid's moving. Oh, that volcano's exploding. Yeah, it was. I think it came with the fact that it's Disney, so it's an attraction with alcohol, is what I've always called it.
Did you just say an attraction?
It's an attraction. It's an attraction with alcohol.
It's an attraction to alcohol.
Yeah, well, that too.
Do you have any? What are the future plans for you?
I'm working on 2 lands for a Universal theme park in Beijing that we're building.
Beijing.
So I have 2 lands that I'm responsible for propping, and so that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then we have volume 2 of the field guide outlined, and we had a big version kind of figured out, but then we went, well, let's not get too crazy with too many power tools and too many things that are complicated. So this one, volume 1 was anybody can do that, and then as we go, it'll get more difficult. But we've got volume 2 kind of outlined, and we'll see when I can have the time to type it up.
It's all about that. So to take us out, I want you, if you can, pulling from your book and from your knowledge, what would be like the first basic tip that you can give to people if they're going to build their own home tiki bar? What's the first thing? The main thing, if you can say.
The main thing to me, my biggest personal thing, is the story. I mean, even I don't know what the actual official story for the Alibi is, but when I walk in, I feel like I'm in a 60s Las Vegas tiki bar.
Yeah.
And that's great, and even that simple. You walk in and you know what this place is. Sam's, you know what it is. So I'm always an advocate for story. I mean, even my home bar in the backyard was a shipwreck more theme. So I was could build salvage things and wood, nothing had to match, and it was just ramshackled together. So I'm all about story.
That's a great idea. I mean, like because as soon as you can say, okay, this is going to be the story, then you have a direction,
and it makes it a lot easier.
Because most of the times, for a lot of people with their home tiki bars, it's a hodgepodge, it's a mishmash of whatever they found. Well, I got this at this.
And then I bought that, and then
I got that there, and then, well, here it is. Here's the tiki bar. Yeah. But if you have a story,
if you have an end point in mind,
then you can have a direction.
Yeah, then you know where you're headed.
So I want to focus all of this on Children of the Corn.
Okay. Let's do it.
I don't care. I don't care about the fact that you.
Let's do it.
Hey gang, this is Tiki with Ray, and I just want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more episodes, click on the subscribe button. And if you liked the video, give it a like. That would mean a lot to me. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave a comment in the comment section below.